This is my response to Melissa's initial post on her standard of masculinity. The way she described the doctor going from being this young, powerful man to being an older man who has to sit down like a woman, where in a time where women were considered the lesser, really kind of hit home with me. And I'm about to tell you why. My dad is 73 years old, and he still works in construction. He still will climb a ladder. He will tear out a tile floor, tear up a rug. He will do drywall repairs. He still does all that work. Can he do it? Not really. He can't go on a roof anymore, and his eyesight is not that great. So he shouldn't really be driving, yet he does anyways. And I couldn't believe how Melissa's video, I'm like, that's describing my father. My dad was once a very well-known, he brought home the bacon, as it were. He was making quite a bit in construction, but as we all know, the construction business went downhill. And he lost that power, but he still had other things coming along, even after the construction business went down. But now he has been out of work, and now he kind of has to stay at home, and he doesn't like sitting still. He has to be doing something. He wants to work. But at age 73, is he gonna find work? Everyone knows at that age you can't do as much as you used to if you're, say, 20-something. But I think the reason Melissa's video struck me is because it's that masculinity thing she was talking about with the doctor. How he just can't admit that weakness. My dad can't admit his own weakness. He knows there's something going on. He just doesn't like admitting it. And I think, this is just the weight of the world that is put on a man's shoulders even today. You're the man of the house. You gotta run it. You have to provide. That's the standard that we seem to still live by. Maybe. I mean, certain, sorry about that. Certain aspects of life. I mean, now women are in the workforce. Now women are bringing home money, and you know, this dynamic of the standards have changed. But in this book, it shows the standard in a way, in a sense, with the doctor not admitting his own weakness, going on a ladder when he obviously shouldn't have. Like my dad working in construction when he should be retired, and my dad's been hurt multiple times on the job. He's had some close calls, I will say that. So, it is this sense of masculinity. It still exists today. You're a man. You have to be a man. You gotta be a man. You can't be like a woman who's weak. This is a standard which has changed over time. Now we know women are strong, as men are, and can be as strong as men are, can also bring home things, bring home the money just like a man. But in this sense, there's still that premise of you have to be in control still. You have to show that power because we live in a man's world. Almost. I mean, I've heard that expression. But not really. I know I sound like I'm going both ways, but you gotta think our world kind of goes both ways. We talk about the strengths of women, but we also still talk about the strengths of men. Men being mothers and women being like the fathers where they bring home the most money and everything. So, I think Melissa's video really got me thinking about this dynamic of male versus female in the book. I mean, even Florentino, who is a man, exhibits the passion of and realizes he can have an earthly passion and be okay with not being with Fermina. It's that whole sense of love and sex, of course. But is that a male and female thing? Uh, huh, not really. We both experience it, but we experience it in very different ways. So, this dynamic of man versus woman is very interesting. Still kind of relevant today. I mean, there's still lots of things when it comes to men versus women. You know, women don't get paid as much in certain sectors. You don't see a female CEO very often. In fact, rarely do you. And most of the Congress, even the politicians, there are very, very, very few women. No, the word very. And it really is kind of a power thing, I think, as Melissa stated. So that's my reaction to her video. Like I said, the reason is because I see my father now in this character. Where he was once this upstanding young man who was in the military, who had a good construction job, and now he's this older man who wants to work but might not be able to because no one will hire him. So, I look forward to seeing what Melissa thinks about this and what the rest of you think.